Mark Sanchez, NFL and Fox analyst, former NFL quarterback, and friend of the show. And I'm not sure if he brought drinks for everybody. He's got one. I mean, kind of nice if we all got stuff.
So thirsty.
Look at that.
What's up?
He's got a pencil behind his ear. He's got
notes?
Well, you got notes here.
I got my boards just
You
in
got
case.
your boards here.
What if we got to call a game?
Oh, okay. So
Just in case.
could you call the game if Brady six out? Like you could be the understudy. You could go in there. How long would
Like
it take?
Broadway?
How long would it take for you to get ready?
I've gotten ready like I'm gonna call it.
Oh, you are.
Well, just to practice.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Are you able to go to practices?
No, I didn't get a chance to do that. They don't let everybody do that.
Yeah.
You got to be calling the game or
okay.
part of the pregame show kind of deal.
All right. Do you have to be a great athlete to be a quarterback?
I think so. I think it helps.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean you have to be able to run like Lamar Jackson or somebody like that, but
Is Jared Goff a great athlete?
I think he's an excellent athlete, yeah.
Eli Manning a great athlete?
Maybe not as nimble as Jared, but still a great athlete in his own right. You know, I like my idea, at least, is you got to be able to play multiple sports, hit a baseball, shoot a free throw, jump a little bit, move a little bit, and basically the size of this carpet in here, you got to be able to work within that area, short area quickness. If you can't do that and get out of a little bit of trouble, then it makes life tough.
Okay, but if you don't have a big arm,
You better anticipate.
really?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Montana didn't have the strongest arm. There's plenty of guys who don't have an incredible arm, but when you need to put a little extra heat on it.
But if I have the
If
quarterback,
you're asking if Fritzy can play, I'm going to say no.
wow,
That's fair. That's
Just
fair.
kidding. I heard you balled out in pickleball.
I did.
That's why I said that, because I was
very
like, wait a
surprising.
second.
no, he's feeling picked on for some reason today.
Who, Fritzy?
Yeah.
No, because I feel bad. I didn't go to the Dan Lebitard. There was a big shindig last night.
I didn't get invited.
Mark was there too.
I didn't get invited.
Everybody,
And the whole staff went, and I took a stand.
Yeah,
I said, I'm
we were
not doing
prepping
that.
for the game, Fritzy. We were prepping
That's
for the
right.
game.
We were working together.
Taylor Swift was there last night.
Oh, don't
Everybody
even.
was
Jessica
there.
Alba was there. Don't
Jessica
start with me.
Alba was there.
With her Movado watch.
But the Mannings aren't great athletes.
I disagree. I think they're athletic enough. I mean,
But not great athletes.
in what aspect? Like, you got to be athletic.
Well, they don't have great arms. They don't have escapability. They don't have quickness.
You can't say he doesn't have escapability. He won a Super Bowl escaping from a tackle.
Well,
and he was moving around.
That should have been in the grasp, right?
Should have, would have,
Can you imagine if Mahomes has a play like that in this Super Bowl?
Oh,
That he gets out of
I mean,
in the
he's done it
grass.
so many times.
But but what people are going to say, they already think that he gets every call. Imagine if that had been Mahomes or Brady doing what Eli did in that Super Bowl.
it'd be this. It's like Jordan rules. Like, at a certain point, you get to a certain level.
You're okay with that?
Listen, it's going to go the way it's going to go. But they're so good. They're
But when
so
you played against
productive.
Brady, did you think Brady got calls that you wouldn't get?
I know for a fact. I remember Gene Steratore. Didn't I tell you this story when I yelled at Gene? This was in the divisional game. Brady throws an early interception on a screen pass. This was my second year, 10, 11 playoffs, I want to say.
Yeah.
So we go up to Foxborough. We had gotten beat like 48-3 on Monday Night Football, just got embarrassed. Rex buried the ball after the game. Then we go back up there in the playoffs.
Where did
and
he bury the football?
outside the facility. He dug a hole outside the facility and said, we are not talking about this game anymore unless we're doing our corrections from the film. After that, that's it. We'll see their ass in the playoffs, right? Like that was, very
Okay.
Rex thing to say.
Yeah.
But I understood the psychological component. Move on, turn the page. We'll see him later on down the road. We're still a good football team. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So we get to that bridge and we got to cross it in Foxborough. Well, we're playing the game. Brady throws an early interception, got hit a couple times, like up in the head and neck area before that was really a thing, before some of those things were as enforced as they are today. And, Bart Scott, Dave Harris, those guys, I mean, they're trying to just cheap shot him, like just do something to slow him down because this guy's a machine and he'll rip your heart out if you let him. So he throws an early interception, and then the very next drive, I want to say, he got so upset about a late hit. And it was like a defensive back, like a nickel player, coming off the edge and just barely like tapped him. And as we're running on the field, I want to say it was like a 4th down or something. We were passing kind of each other, and he lost it on Gene. Gene, are you kidding me? Oh man! And he just lost it on, like undressed him. And I just looked at Gene's territory. I was like, oh my God, like eviscerated the guy. I was like, dang. So like 3rd quarter happens, and I get shoved down to the ground after throwing a ball away. And I go, Gene, what the was that? And he looked at me, he goes, chill out. And I say, you're right, my bad.
I thought he would have said, hey, you're not Tom.
Yeah, exactly, but that's what he was implying,
saying.
like, chill out, you ain't there yet, dude. So, yeah, it's, these unwritten
But how
rules,
does
I guess.
Mahomes work? You can work the refs. Now, Tom wasn't working the ref as much as he's,
No,
undressing them.
I think that was, there's a time to do both.
But
right?
how does Mahomes work the refs?
Well, I think one of the most important things is they go introduce themselves to the quarterback if you don't do it first. Pre-game, you always talk to the white hat. Always. Just, hey, how we doing? Get a little information. The best teams I've been on, at least Monday and Friday, they'll go through all the refs that are going to be there. Here's what they call the most. They go through the stats of the officials. So, hey, these guys are first in the league in offensive holding. Boys, we got to be tight on our targets with our hands, eyes, hand placement, none of the grabbing, none of the bear hugs, stuff like that. They're flag happy when it comes to holding, whatever. Defensive illegal contact. That 5-yard line of demarcation, we better be sharp now. Hit them till 5 and then back off. Cut them loose, let them go. That kind of stuff. So you have to try and find an advantage some way, somehow. And if it's a handshake, a hello, a wink, hey, good to see you again. How's the fam? You do a little research on the guy. How's your wife doing? I know she just battled through something, whatever. Hey, man, I'm looking for every advantage I can. Like, we're trying to beat the best team in the world in the New England Patriots. I'll take whatever advantage I can get. And, when you play up there, gosh, during that time, it was like there was the Tiger Woods red polo on Sunday effect. You're going to play Belichick, Brady, you better be on. You can't afford to beat yourself. You can't make one mistake, and that makes guys tense up. So the Chiefs are playing with that right now. They just walk out on the field, 15 trots out on the field, and you're like, oh, boy. We better be sharp.
But Mahomes with the slide or go out of bounds.
Yeah, that one was weak. That one was bad.
Okay.
I don't appreciate that.
To me, he was flaunting the rule.
So here's the problem. He called himself out for the one on the sidelines where he kind of like slowed down and like flopped on the sidelines and said that was bad ball. I shouldn't have done that. So he gets it. I know he's aware. The one I didn't like, as much as I'm for protecting the quarterback, don't get me wrong, but the one I didn't like is if you're going to run around in, a 5-yard box area outside the tackle box, 5 yards down the field, and then at the end just fall down and like try and give yourself up slide, that one's like impossible because now you got guys coming from the opposite end of the field flying 100 miles an hour. They can't just stop. They're going to clip you a little bit even if you fall down flat. So that one I thought was a little egregious.
Do you think it's changed in the offseason?
That I think will get changed. I still think the tush push will get changed. Especially,
you do?
Well, after the championship game, both games had issues with it. Whether it was the Bills, you can't officiate it.
Okay, but here's my problem.
You can't officiate the play.
Mark, they shouldn't allow a hard count.
No, come on. Cadence is a weapon.
No, but the hard count brings about those guys. They're trying to guess the cadence, and they jumped on a hard count.
But if they
did
know
exactly what the hard count is meant for.
But if you take away the hard count, then the defense gets a jump on the offensive cadence,
the offense
and they're in the
gets
back.
everything.
They're in the backfield immediately. That's what the hard count's for. To get them to jump, boom, the center knows to snap it. If somebody crosses the plane, you're told to freeze on the cadence. The center can see in his peripheral. If that guy crosses me, boom, I snap it, and everybody just runs vertical, and the quarterback takes a couple steps back and just launches one because you can't get in trouble, or you can't throw an interception. All you can do is have pass interference, offensively at least.
Yeah, offense gets everything.
I mean, the hashes are narrow for a reason. They want a high-scoring game. They want you in the middle of the field. It's harder to disguise a defense in the middle of the field.
Why don't they do that for college? I always feel bad for the field goal kicker who is out wide. Why do they make that tougher?
It is strange when you watch.
I mean, we allow kickoffs in college.
I'm sure it'll change at some point.
You think?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
He's Mark Sanchez, the former NFL quarterback. All right, so tell me how the Eagles win. You want to grab your notes over there?
No. This one I got down.
Okay.
But the offense runs through 26. If I'm killing more, I'm running the ball. I'm trying to set an NFL record in a Super Bowl for rush attempts and run it.
Now, you don't use the pass to open up the run. You use the run to open up the pass.
I use Saquon to do Saquon. That's it.
Oh, so you're not even concerned about the pass?
I'd have a couple RPOs off of some of those passes. I'd have a couple quick game options. The best thing Jalen Hurts does is use his legs. Their premier game plan is hand the ball to Saquon. Next, Jalen Hurts running. Next, Jalen Hurts those deep ball shots. So I need about 1 a quarter to A.J. Brown. Whenever he's one-on-one, it's either a yes or no flow chart. If he's one-on-one, throw it. Hold the safety with your eyes and launch it because he throws a beautiful deep ball. A lot like Russell Wilson. So after that, give me a couple quick throws here and there, some RPO, quick flash fake with the ball, and he kind of looks like a middle infielder where he's turning two and just ditch it to the edge. Goddard, Calcaterra, Devontae Smith, that's their pass game. If they get down 10 to 14 points and they got to throw it 35 times a game, they ain't winning the game.
But the Chiefs know this.
Of course. I think Philly's going to try and get in some bigger personnel and make them play base. So base defense, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Usually you see Spagnuolo in nickel with an extra nickel defender, usually McDuffie in the slot or somebody else in the slot. So Leo Chenal, who you don't see a lot of, I think he's going to have a bigger role in this game. He's going to have to fit up in the run game more than normal. Usually it's just Tranquil and Bolton, the 2 linebackers, 23 and 32. So that's what I think is going to happen.
And the Chiefs are going to do what?
What an evolution for this team. I think you start at left tackle. Joe Tooney's playing left tackle. Joe Tooney's an all-pro guard. So they had to move him out there because they went through 3 other guys who couldn't cut it. And now he's outside, so you bring in Caliendo at guard. Their left side is compromised, in my opinion. Tooney's just not fit. He's doing an incredible job. He's a savvy guy. He won 2 Super Bowls in New England, won a pair here in Kansas City. Excellent player, but he's an interior offensive lineman. He doesn't have those long levers to go grab those creatures that are rushing outside on the edge. He just doesn't physically. So I think their left side's compromised. Now, you get those 2 big guys up front, Carter and Davis. I mean, how about the way they've been playing? Like, Carter played maybe half the snaps last year. Now he's almost doubled his snap count this year. So Clint Hurt, the defensive line coach, Vic Fangio, the defense coordinator, have completely flipped the way this attitude of this team. Remember the wild card last year? I mean, these guys got embarrassed. Yeah. They wanted to fire the whole staff. Yeah. And they did, and they brought Vic Fangio in, and he's got 2 rookies playing in the secondary. Like, are you kidding me? And they're in the Super Bowl? Come on. So this defense is playing unbelievable. For KC, it's not the same. It's no longer the deep play action, shots down the field. That was going to kind of be Xavier Worthy's deal. Remember Andy Reid, Deshaun Jackson? Hard play fake. I don't care whether it was Vic, Kevin Cobb, McNabb, anybody. Hard play fake. Launch it down the field. Well, that takes so long. And go back to what I said about the left side of the line. They don't got time. And they don't have 2 tight ends that can do that. Kelsey and Noah Gray are similar skill set. They don't want to block. They're not blockers. So you can't hold up for 5 seconds and let this guy run down the field 50 yards and launch it. So it's a different kind of passing game. The receivers are lighter, slider. A lot of them, just a little bit of tread left on the tires. Look at Juju Smith-Schuster. Look at DeAndre Hopkins. Hollywood Brown on his 3rd team now. I mean, these aren't guys that are like, okay, we need to double team him. I think they can play him man-to-man and try and stop the run, and it's just those quick passing game. Talk about a middle infielder. Patrick Mahomes, this dude's the best at it.
I think you're picking the Eagles.
I want to, but I can't bet against Mahomes. Just like, it's impossible to bet against Brady when he was playing. It's like the dude just finds a way to win. And you got to deal with that preparation, that scheme, and their time on task in these crucial situations. whether it's Spagnuolo, whether it's Andy Reid, they have the answers. Their players can recognize the problems, communicate it to each other, and it leads to high levels of execution for their offense and defense. They find a way to win no matter what.
How much has Kelsey lost?
Lost.
Slowed down his fastball?
I mean, yeah, he's not exactly the player he was 3 years ago, in his prime, I guess, his athletic prime, I would say. But, they know that. And he's measured. I think one of the unique aspects about him and even a guy like Brock Bowers, they're measured with their speed. And they're never going to just blow by you, but they have this way of lulling you to sleep, almost like Fritzy playing pickleball.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He shows
fair
up and
point.
you're like, this guy, he hits a couple soft ones and then wham!
Yep, that's true.
Right down the pipe.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
embarrasses you.
Yeah, but
And
you're not going to get Taylor Swift, though,
No.
or Jessica
I am
Alba.
Not yet.
One day, you never know.
No, you're
So
not.
yeah, I think he's developed this ability, and the savvy players do it when they're not just an athletic, when athleticism isn't their only trait, when they're really smart football players and savvy and have the spatial awareness, as the athleticism declines, their football IQ skyrockets. And this guy knows when to pick and choose his spots and use every ounce of speed he has, and when to be measured, sit down in zone, show like I'm blocking, and then escape out into the flat, provide an outlet for Patrick Mahomes, and there goes a big play.
Great stuff all season.
Thank you, man.
Happy for your success. He's
Appreciate it,
Mark
buddy.
Sanchez, NFL and Fox analyst. We'll come back. It's a Meet Thursday. We'll go out to the grills after this.